Welcome everyone. It's Friday night, Forex and Chill. Tonight is March 27th. It's Friday night, a little after 10 p.m. and it is my great honor to welcome a wonderful person, my personal mentor, my big bro, a great person and a great Forex mentor, Mr. Clint Millien. He has a fantastic background, a great story. He's a well-rounded Forex trader, a certified six-figure plus trader. He not only knows how to trade, but he also does a lot for the community. He has a fantastic mindset as part of his instruction. And I hope you all pay attention and take copious notes. Don't forget to take those notes and don't be afraid to participate when asked. And take it away, Clint.
What's going on, everybody? What's up, man? How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing, man? Everybody's doing great? Let me see the chat box real fast, see how people doing. Everybody doing good. Everybody feel blessed. Perfect. Grant, first of all, thank you, bro. When you was talking about that, I didn't even know you was talking about me, man. Every time somebody introduces me, I'm like, is that me? The same Clint that started off life the way he did, man. So I appreciate those kind words, bro. And obviously, I'm gonna send it right back at you, bro. Like, since I met you, you always been a hungry man, always searching for knowledge. I remember them endless nights you used to stay up trying to, master craft and stuff like that. You came to me, and obviously I shared the blueprint with you, and you've been doing some amazing, great things, man. So I truly appreciate you, bro. And I know you call me big bro all the time, but to me, everybody here is my big bro. So I appreciate you, Grant. Thank you so much. Is Gigi here today, or is just Grant?
I'm here, but I'm going to let you men control things tonight. I'm just an observer. So teach me something, boss.
Okay, perfect. And first of all, thank you, Gigi, for even allowing me to even speak on your platform, because I know I spoke on it before, but I know when it comes to stuff like that, you built this from the ground up. So it takes a lot of trust and respect to allow basically an outsider to come on your platform and speak. And I know you've been doing some amazing things yourself, man. I've seen your growth from first joining my group to doing amazing things in your own personal trading journey, and then following the path of the other greats of once you reach the success that you have, give back to the people. So guys, one thing I would say, man, keep plugging into this, because this can truly change your life, because she's not even charging $1 for something like this, right? And she can charge whatever amount of money that she wants, because we know the market that we are investing in, right? It's 6.6 trillion. So you can't even put a number on what she can charge for this information. And for her to just give it all away for free, you guys don't take that for granted, all right? So is there anybody new that never seen me ever in their life before? If there is, please type in a 1 in the chat. If there's anybody new that never seen me in their life before, don't know who I am, never heard me speak. All right, G, so you got some new people. So let me introduce myself, man, right? So my name is Clint Millien. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You could tell by the bass in my voice where I'm from, right? Because the neck of the woods I come from, you had to have like this tough edge to you. Make sense? But my story is very simple. It's not too complicated, right? By the time I was 11 years old, guys, I was in 14 different foster homes, right? By the time I was 11 years old, I was in 14 different foster homes. So I didn't have a steady home that I was growing up in, right? Then as I got older, I never said I had the wrong friends, but me and my friends made a lot of wrong decisions. And one of those decisions landed me in an involuntary vacation, right? I had to sit down for 15 months, right? If you understand what I mean by that, basically I had my freedom taken away from me for 15 months. And when I was going through that transition period, you gotta understand my life was literally on standstill. I couldn't do a lot of the stuff I wanted to do. I couldn't make a lot of the stuff happen, right? A lot of the stuff was taken away from me, right? There's a lot of stuff that I took for granted that I thought was normal, but once I was in that situation, I realized, wow, right? Then when obviously 15 months later, I got a chance to basically be released back into society, released back to my freedom, released to living life back on my own terms per se, right? And then the level of education that I had, right, was just a GED. That's the only level of education that I had. A GED, not even the high school diploma, right? I had the equivalent diploma. Make sense? So just like everybody else, one thing that everybody could say about me is I was always ambitious and I was always willing to work hard. So obviously I got a job, started doing the job thing like normal people do, working my butt off, always trying to make it to the top, always trying to get promoted, coming in on my days off. So working, regular jobs like, normal people and stuff like that, coming in on my days off, staying extra hours, doing doubles, doing triples, right? Doing so much of the stuff that we do because we want to put in a lot of time and effort in, because obviously we want more money and we want more out of life, and we just feel the harder we work, a lot of stuff can happen for us. Make sense? But one day I was working for one of my friends, and this is when he formally introduced me to a different side and a different way of doing things, right? At the age of 24, I got to meet my first multi-millionaire that wasn't a rapper, wasn't a drug dealer. Yes, I'll say that as well. And damn sure wasn't an athlete or anything like that. Make sense? Obviously, they shared a concept with me. They shared a lot of great things with me, and I loved it. I took in a lot of knowledge. Now, January 2nd, 2014, I made an announcement and I said, by the time I'm 30 years old, I would never work for another person a day in my life. That's the announcement I made. That same year, what else I did was I told my mom, listen, Mom, once I retire, I'm going to come back for you and retire you as well. I told my mom that as well, right? Fast forward time, guess what? A year later, it did not happen to me. A year after that, it didn't happen yet. A year after that, it didn't happen yet, right? But one thing I did was I was always hungry, and I wanted to live that life that that young man that I met was living at the age of 26. Beautiful wife, beautiful children, a multi-millionaire. The home he had, if you're familiar with New York, he had a 17-bedroom estate in the Hamptons. 17-bedroom estate in the Hamptons, but he was only a family of three. When I asked him why he had such a big house, he simply told me, I love my wife, but if me and her ever argue, she doesn't have the option to tell me go sleep on the couch because I got 15 other bedrooms to choose from. Right? So all those books I was reading always stuck with me. So I always kept my mind and my eyes open, looking for a chance to escape this very thing we call, life, about working hard and all that stuff. Make sense? Then a good friend of mine, he was posting low profits on Instagram, and then obviously it caught my attention. Low $50 here, $100 there, not life-changing profits, but he did it consistent enough to make me go, hey man, I need to know what this young man is doing. Because Warren Buffett once told me, not me personally, but I read that Warren Buffett said that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're gonna work until you die. And then one caption my friend kept using over and over again, it feels good to wake up to whatever the amount of profit it was. Make sense? So that caught my eye attention. That caught my eye immediately. Then I did on average, if I could make $50 a day, Times that by 5, that's $250 a week. Times that by 4, that's an extra 1,000. Times that by 12, that's extra 12 grand a year on top of whatever I'm already doing. Anybody here, if your manager, your boss came up to you and said, hey, I'm gonna give you a $12,000 raise, you're going to church on Sunday if you haven't been going already. Make sense? So fast forward time, I reached out to him. One thing my mama taught me was, if you're hungry, you must say something, because a closed mouth does not get fed. That's one thing she taught me. Always remember that slogan. A closed mouth does not get fed. So I reached out. Listen, bro, I don't know what is it that you're doing. I need the information on it. If it's possible for you to put me on, please put me on. He said, Clint, if you're serious, meet me here. I'll share some information with you. I met with him. He shared the information. It made a whole lot of sense. And then immediately, I just made the decision on the spot. I got started. The reason why I did such a thing, because I did not want to walk away from him that day and give myself a million excuses on why I shouldn't get started. I didn't even have enough money to get started. But because of who I banked with, they allowed me to overdraft. That's what I did, because I knew I was getting paid like 2 days later. I said, you know what? I'll spend the extra $35 to get started. Right? Once I got started, like a lot of you guys, I was a professional signal taker. Waiting for this person to give this signal, waiting for that person to give this signal. But my friend at that time that was giving out the signals, he made 15 grand in one night, and he took the rest of the month off. That's when I made the decision. I said, wait a minute, man. I cannot be in position that I let the next man be in charge of feeding me and my family. I got to learn this skill set for myself. If he could make 15 grand, what's the difference between us? The only difference was he was light skinned, I was dark skinned. No big difference, right? Fast forward time, I started seeking out mentorship. I met my mentor, who was a documented 7-figure investor in the markets. Every year he makes no less than 7 figures. I told him, listen, man, I'm hungry. My ribs is touching. I want to learn this skill. Can you give me the blueprint that got you to where you got to? He took me underneath the wing, and basically, long story short, March 23rd, this was basically my anniversary just passed, right? March 23rd, 2018, I was able to fully walk away from my job at the age of 29 years old. But in 2014, I made the decision that by the time I'm 30, I won't be working for nobody. Once that happened, right? A few months later, I was able to go visit my mom. I'm walking in the house. Every time she sees me, she says, hey, my favorite child, because maybe she wants something. And then I was told, like, listen, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to call your boss, manager, supervisor, team leader, whoever the hell they are, and do me a favor and tell them you would no longer be going back to work. She picked up the phone as she was dialing the number. Every time she pressed a button, a tear would drop from her eyes, and her hands would start shaking because she couldn't believe what was happening. She looked me in the eye and said, Clint, I hope you're not pranking me because I'm really doing this. I said, Ma, I would not play when it comes to something like that. She picked up the phone after she dialed all the numbers, tears dropped. Manager finally came to the phone. She said, hey, man, this is Mrs. Millien, and I would like to report that I would never come back again. The manager said, hey, why? Why are you doing this? She simply said, because my son said I'm not allowed to go ever back to work again. If I could take that moment and bottle it up, that's one of my greatest accomplishments. Right? Not even that I retired, but because I got to retire my mom. Right? Last quarter of last year of 2019, my mom told me, hey, I would love to go down to Florida. That's what she told me. I got some family down there, Clint. Don't worry about it. It's cold up here in New York right now. It's cold in New Jersey right now. But you know, your mama had hip replacement surgery, and the metals make it hard for me to operate in the cold. I said, no problem, mama. I gave her one-way tickets. He said, just give me a one-way ticket and some pocket money. When I'm ready to come back up, I'll let you know. I said, no problem, mom. I'll make it happen for you. I sent her down there. She called me about 3 weeks later, and then she said, listen, my favorite son, whenever she wants something, she says, hey, my favorite son. Listen, my favorite son, I need a favor. I said, what is it, mama? I'm thinking it's one or two things. She want to come back because her cousins started getting on her nerves, because something about my mama, people get on her nerves too fast. Or maybe she just need more pocket money because she ran through the money. But she said, listen, I've been looking around. There's 3 homes I've been looking at, and I would like for you to move me into one of those homes. I thought about it for 2 seconds. I said, no problem, mama, I got you. Just tell me how much money you need, and I'll wire her the money in 24 hours. So that's basically my story, right? So it's not a matter of does Forex work? Because we all know is one of the is not one, it's the biggest financial market out there. We all know it's $6.6 trillion a day that's flowing through these markets. We all know all this stuff already, right? So the story isn't about if the money's there. The story is not about if it works. It's about, are you willing to work it until it works for you? For somebody by the age of 11, 14 different foster homes, not having a steady home. My mom was in the streets. They didn't know my dad, right? Got a little older, made a couple of bad decisions, obviously did his time, did his due diligence. Level of education, still GED. I don't got no college degree. Some of you guys on this call actually have a higher education than I do. Some of you guys on this call actually have had a steady home growing up. Some of you guys on this call had, if not one, definitely 2 parents and a home. Some of you guys never had your life be at a standstill for 15 months straight. So a lot of you guys have a better beginning than me, on paper, smarter than me because of your level of education, came from a loving family, or whatever your background is. Or if you're from the mud like me, use me as a walking testimony, go, wow, if that guy can do that, so can I. Make sense? So if I can retire myself at the age of 29, I would never, ever in my life have to work for another soul again. If I could retire my mom 2 years ago, she's about to be 60, so 58, basically 17 years ahead of the time that she had to retire. I brought my mom back 17 years of her life. I brought myself back over 40 years. My mom said it's too cold. She wanted to move to a house she was looking at in Florida. Guess what, Mom? No problem. Here's the money. Right? Because money gives you the options to do exactly what you need to do in life. So that's why it's our job to get as much as we can so we could do more out of life. There's no difference between me and any of you guys. Beautiful thing is, man, I was just on the call last night with a young lady that I trained. She's 20 years old. And because she did what she had to do, her name is Jamila Lawson, she was able to retire at the age of 19. We're not hearing these nowadays. There's another guy that I trained, right? At the age of 20, he was able to retire. So 19, 20-year-olds could definitely do it. I don't know what the average age group is here. Gigi, you could put it in chat box, help me out with that. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are old enough to be their parent. And they'll never have to work another day in their life. So this does work, okay? So now, guys, how would you like some information to basically show you guys how y'all can do this? How would you like that? Type it on one if you would like that. Let's get into some chart work. Just type it on one, right? All right, perfect. This is my wife's computer, so guys, bear with me. All right, guys, boom. If you can see my screen, type in the word blessed in the chat. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do a little different because I didn't come here with some predetermined charts I wanted to mark up. So Grant, GG, and two of my veterans, y'all can pick a chart for me to mark up and basically train
on. AJ, all JPY.
USD JPY.
Okay, that's two of my veterans, USD, JPY, all JPY, Grant and Gigi.
Let's do gold.
Gold, anybody else?
EG.
EG, okay, my son Isaiah. Okay, let's do EG first. Is this even? This is not even my charts. Now this is my chart. Euro GBP. Perfect. All right, guys. So the mindset I need everyone to have, especially when it comes to trading, is very simple. The mindset I need you to have is the mindset of an investor. I'm gonna repeat that again. The mindset I need you to have is the mindset of an investor. Why? Because we're doing one simple thing. We're taking some disposable income, right? Everybody know what disposable income is? Press one. Not income that you need, I'm a little ahead of my bills. Landlord money not through the 20th. I got the money now on the 12th. Let me go trade it for a week. And then whatever money I make on, I'll do what I do from there. Right? Not that income. Make sense? Because the landlord does not want to hear Euro CAD is supposed to drop. Give me a couple of days. Right? So disposable income is basically income that would not mess with your livelihood. That's what disposable income is. That it's okay if you spend it. You was planning on buying a pair of sneakers with it or something like that. Right? So you take that disposable income, you load it up in your trading account, and you're doing one simple thing. You're risking a small percentage of that disposable income, 1 to 3%. If you're a good trader like Gigi, you could go up to 5%. I just consider anything above 5% over leveraging, right? And then you're simply looking for an ROI, right? Could you put in the chat if you understand what the ROI means? Return on investment. Perfect. That's what ROI mean, right? You're risking a small percentage of your money and you're looking for a return on your investment. Think about some of the stuff out there that you can invest in. People would say real estate, right? I have a good friend of mine that's good in the real estate market. She said on average per year, she makes anywhere between 10 to 15% on a good year, right? But think about it. Let's meet her halfway. Let's make 12% a year. So if you divide that by 12, basically on average, you're looking at 1% a month. And I think guys over here in this industry, in this Forex niche, right, with this skill set, I think we can have a bigger return on our investment on a daily basis, right? That's what I feel, right? Think about the money in your bank account. Past 3 to 5 years, the money that flowed through your bank account, how much money have you made off it? A lot of you guys would say none, because my bank gives me anywhere between 0.001% annually to about 3%. That's the highest I've seen, 3%. Let's take the highest, do the math, take your calculator out. Take 3% and divide it by 12. How much are you getting per month? Make sense? So in order for you to get a great return in real estate, in order for you to get a great return in your bank account, and a lot of stuff out there, starting a franchise, like partnering up with Starbucks, partnering up with McDonald's to own your own franchise, you would need a lot of capital. But over here, you don't need a lot of capital to get started and start gaining an ROI. Because if your bank told you, hey, such and such, you've been a loyal customer to us for years, let's put $500 into this account, don't touch it, and we will, every week, we will deposit a 10% return for you, a lot of you guys will let that money pile up and build up. Find out $500 immediately. Make sense? Because you know eventually it's going to grow, and then eventually it's going to be a day you can actually live off of it. So that's the mindset I need you to have, the investor mindset. You're just looking for ROI. Any type of ROI you gain, you should take that as a blessing, because there's a lot of stuff out there that doesn't yield you a big percentage. Right? So you got 2 jobs as an investor. It's very simple. Your 2 jobs is to, 1, protect your capital. I'm gonna repeat that again. Hope you guys take your notes, especially my newbies. 1, protect your capital at all times. Yes, that means use a stop loss. Right? A lot of you guys trading with no stop loss. I don't know why, because you think a stop loss is there to hurt you when it's actually there to protect you. You could live and fight another day. Make sense? That's what a stop loss is there for. You get to put a cap on how much you're losing in your account. That's what it's there for. Right? So 1, protect your capital. Your second job as an investor is very simple. Make money. So protect your money to make money. Protect your money to make money. Protect your money to make money. That is your job. Right? The skill set that we're learning, the skill set that we're going to acquire, the skill set that's going to help us yield these percentages, it's the skill set of a trader. Right? How you gain that is very easy. Linking up with people like Gigi, coming on these platforms, coming to my classes, being a part of a platform. There's a lot of things out there to help you acquire the skill set itself. Right? And as a trader, your job is very, very easy. Your job is to box in price and simply react to it. I'll repeat that again. Your job as a trader is very easy. It's to box in price and react to it. Box in price and then react to it. Right? One thing I would say, right? People always say, hey, Clint, how do you trade? I more so have a style of trading than a strategy. That's what I always say, right? Because I base my trading based on what? The very most important thing to me, which is market structure. No matter what strategies is out there, it reacts off of market structure. Right? That's what makes me so successful. Right? The style of trading I have, I am a swing trader. The reason why I love that style so much is very simple, man. One, I will always know the big move of the market. Always know the full potential of the market. Two, it allows me to have that freedom that I always wanted. Why? Because I come onto my charts about 30 minutes to probably 2-3 hours a day, look for opportunity. Within that time frame, if I see an opportunity, I enter the market. If I don't, it's okay. Tomorrow's another day. And then I don't have to babysit my trades. I don't have to. Right? Because I know how the trade is going to play out. And if I do check my trades about every 4-6 hours, because I'm already know I'm going for the bigger move. So that allows me to do a lot of more stuff in my free time. Make sense? So that's why I like being a swing trader. Right now, how you put yourself in position to capture these big moves, you have to know the 3 most important time frames. The 3 most important time frames is the monthly, the weekly, and the daily time frame. Why? Because it shows you the overall picture of the market. The 3 most important time frames to put you in position to catch these big moves, it's the monthly, weekly, daily. Monthly, weekly, daily. Monthly, weekly, daily. Why? Because it shows you the overall picture of the market. Think about the Forex market like a big old book, with the monthly being the whole story and the 1-minute chart literally being one word in the book. You guys cannot tell a whole story by reading one word in the book. Unless you got a crazy spouse that sees the word babe in your phone, then yeah, he can make a big story out of that. But in a normal book, it does not happen. You can't read one word and tell the whole story. Right? So we start off on the monthly time frame, and then we slowly make our way down to the smaller time frames. Now remember, guys, our job as traders, do not forget, it's very simple to box and price and react. So we use these tools, right, to paint a clear picture, basing it off market structure to realize what we need to do. Make sense? Grant, Gigi, if I'm missing anything in the chat, bring it to my attention. Because, once I start training, I just zone out. Right? What we need to do. Now, every line we draw in our chart basically tells us a story. Oh, this is definitely not my chart. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Every line we draw in our chart simply tells us a story. Oh, perfect. Right? That's what every line we draw in our chart. So basically, the story that I illustrated here, that every time the market touched this place right here, the market dropped. It came back to it again, and then you see the big rejection it gave us. Every time the market came down here, the market went up. Came back here again, it went up. So the market were to make its way back up here again, it's a high probability that it will drop again. Why? Because of past behaviors. If the market were to come down here again, right, what will we think? It's a high probability that it will go up. Why? Because it was past behaviors that illustrated that. Right? So we drew enough on our monthly structure. Right? So now it's time to make our way to a lower time frame. Now that we're on the weekly, just simply zone in, see what we could do. And as you can see, nothing really have changed from the monthly to the weekly. So we're not going to sit there and force ourselves to create an unnecessary story. Because the more lines you draw, the more confusing it can be, at least in my honest opinion. I'm a true believer that my mentor once told me, Clint, less is more. Right? So now we're going to make our way to the daily time frame. Right? On the daily time frame, we could possibly draw a story here. But me, I would skip it because I believe I could get more structure in a smaller one. So now that we're here, smaller time frame, we can see way more structure. So we got this trend line here, and we simply going to do what? Draw it here. Then what happened? Our trend line got broken. That's what happened to our trend line. It got broke. Right? So should we focus on this uptrend anymore? I believe we should not. Why? Because it got broken. So what we should do is, let's get rid of this, remove. Then we could simply draw this downtrend going here. Right? Now, one thing you got to realize, right? The market has three behaviors. Three behaviors the market has. Okay? The behaviors go as following. Okay? You have your impulse, you have your correction, then you have your continuation. I'm going to repeat that again. You have your impulse, you have your correction, then you have your continuation. That's your three behaviors. I'm going to explain what each behavior means. Right? Each behavior simply means, right? When you get an impulse in the market is simply trying to tell you where it would like to go. That's what the market's trying to tell you. Right? Where it would like to go. Right? When you get a correction in the market is confirming your impulsive move. The market is confirming your impulsive move. Right? And then you get your continuation. It simply means money. That's what it means. It simply means money. Right? Now, there's some rules associated with each behavior. When you get an impulse, right? While the impulse is happening, under no circumstances do you trade against it. So if you get an impulse going up, you do not sell the impulse. If you get an impulse that's going down, you do not buy the impulse. So as the impulse is happening, you do not trade against it. Right? When you get a correction in the market, a pattern shall appear. And depending on the pattern that appears, you will know if you'll get a what? A continuation. A continuation. So this is our trade setup, guys. As traders, we get paid off of repeated behaviors. As traders, we get paid off of repeated behaviors. Right? Impulse, correction, continuation. Impulse, direction. Correction, confirm. Continuation, money. So if there's no impulse, no correction, there's no money. If there's no impulse, no correction, there's no money. This is our trade setup. I'm going to repeat that again. If there's no impulse, no correction, then there's no money. This is our trade setup. I'm going to test your guys' eyes real quick, right? Because one thing that I learned from my brother, my mentor, he taught me was very simple, right? If you're going to learn anything from anybody, right? One thing you have to make sure is they can actually show you that it's happened, because the market literally just repeats itself. If they cannot show you that it happened, you really shouldn't be listening to, because the market repeats itself over and over and over and over again. Any strategy there is out there, anything there is out there, it's not like somebody came up with this brand new thing. They just found the repeated behavior. That's why I told you guys, as traders, we get paid off repeated behavior. So it's our job to identify a behavior and simply milk it. That is our job. Right? So over here, we came to a key structure. What did we get? We got an impulse, followed by what? A correction. What that led to? Money. New impulse. What was this? Correction. What that led to? Continuation. What is that? Money. New impulse. What was this? Correction. What that led to? Continuation. What is that? Money. New impulse. What is this? Correction. What that led to? New continuation. That's all it means. Right? What did we get here? New impulse over this key structure. What that led to? Big correction. What that led to? Continuation. New impulse. What that led to? Correction. What that led to? New continuation. Came to this key structure here. What did we get? Impulse. Correction. Continuation. Correction. So this is our correction, which led to this new continuation, which was money. We're simply waiting for another what? Correction. Once we get that, we can start selling again. Did I leave anybody behind? Because I like to teach green eggs and ham. Does everybody understand? Now, am I teaching you guys on theory or facts? So now the question to you is, are you patient enough to actually allow this 3-step process to happen in order for you to get paid? That's the question. Because now we see with plenty of examples of impulse correction money, impulse correction money, impulse correction money, impulse correction money. No impulse, no correction, no money. No impulse, no correction, no money. No impulse, no correction, no money. All right, let's clean this chart up so I can get you guys paid so y'all can keep this for yourselves. All right. These are horizontal line. This key here, whoa, this is definitely not my chart. Look at the right. So now this is our new impulse. We're going to simply wait for a correction. Then we get that, we could go one more move down. Reason why I'm not pushing this down all the way, because this could be forming a bigger correction for another push up. But even if it come back and test this structure right here, you guys can clearly see about 350 pip move. Guys, I'm not here to show you guys 10, 20 pips. I'm here to win you guys back your freedom through trading. One thing that I've learned was you don't need 1 million setups per week. 1 to 2 setups per week can literally change your life and buy you your freedom. There's some people that's not making $300 100 pips for the month. I'm being honest, some people might not even be making it for the year. And I gave you a trade setup here that could possibly happen within 1 week. Right? Anybody see value in this so far?
Yes.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There you go, the energy. I thought I was talking y'all to sleep.
Oh no.
Oh, y'all scared me for a second, man. Oof.
In that right heart.
Gigi gave me a tough crowd tonight.
Dropping that link.
I told them to have those pencils and papers out. They will get some knowledge.
For some reason, I can't select everyone right now.
It's interesting. That's why we're quiet.
No problem, guys. All right, so Grant, I guess you can keep those charts up as well for the squad.
There it is.
Share with you guys. So the another pair was RJPY. That was another requested pair.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Let's start off. Guys, what's the 3 most important time frames?
Monthly, weekly, daily.
Monthly, weekly, daily. 3 most important time frames. Those are the 3 most important time frames, especially as a swing trader, because it puts you in ideal situation to catch a big move. Because you're looking at the overall picture of the market. What is our job as investors?
Protect.
Box and react.
What is our job as investors?
Box and our money and make money.
Take your capital.
Return on investment.
What is our job as investors? I thought y'all was note takers. Gigi told me I was taking notes.
Make money and protect our money.
Protect your price and react.
Protect your
money.
Boxing the price and react on to it.
Protect your capital and make money.
Gigi, I'm making Gigi look bad, man. She told me y'all was note takers. Gigi, you lied to me, girl. You never lied to me.
Some of them got it right, but they were talking over each other.
Take your money, man. Protect your money.
price and react to it.
Incorrect. Make money
at all times.
Say that again. Say that again.
Protect your capital at all times.
Protect your capital. What's our second job?
Make money.
Make money and protect it.
Perfect. Guys,
Make money so you can flip.
our job as investors is simple. It's to protect our money and then make money. Yes, using a stop loss, it's protecting your money. Because why? You actually put a lid on the amount you can actually lose. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
What a stop loss is, guys, let me tell you what a stop loss is, right? Because I have a lot of people DM me about that stuff. Hey, Clint, but it just comes and lick my stop loss and then goes my way. But I also had a lot of people that DM me and say, Clint, I'm in 300 pip drawdown. What should I do? Because you was trading with no stop loss, right? A stop loss is something very simple. You did an analysis on your chart. You got the confidence to get in. But we do understand that a trade may not go our way. So we communicate with our broker based on our knowledge and say, hey, man, if this market goes here, that means my analysis is off. Take me out. I'm okay with my 1 to 3% risk. That I'm okay with that loss. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's there for.
Yes.
It's to protect you, let you fight another day. That's what it's there for, right? Right now, that is our job as investors. Our job as traders is very simple, right? Our job as traders is to box in, price, and react. So what we do is, boom, look, boxing in, right here. Look at this key structure here, right? There's no bottom structure right now, but on the monthly, we could go as low as here, okay? Now, every time we drop down the time frame, we get as close to price as possible. That's what we do, right? So we simply can see here that we have a clear downtrend. Let's draw that up. We have a clear downtrend, right? Every line that we draw tells us a story. So when price came here, drop, drop, big drop. Every time price touched this trend line, drop, 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 drop. So basically, if we make our way up to this trend line again, it's a high probability that the market would drop again, right? So we basically trade from key area to key area, right? We go to the daily, boom. Did our story really change? Not really, not at all. So are we going to force a story? No, because we could probably find better structure in a 4 hour, right? Based on this 4 hour, what do we see here? We got this clear downtrend. Where are we right now, guys? We are leaning on this. So let's drop down one more time frame and we can see we have this clear uptrend. Now, one thing I always tell people, when you have the market boxed in like this is the part where you be very patient. Because remember, what's the 3 behaviors of the market?
Impulse, correction, continuation.
Impulse, correction, continuation, right? There's 2 ways you can look at this, right? For some people, hey, let me show the break. This was my impulse, this was my correction, and I'm looking to continue that. That's a beautiful way to look at it, right? Because now we're on this trend line, right? But sometimes we rather be safe, right? So why not show the rejection? Because we literally just impulsed right here. So because we impulsed right here, let's show the rejection and simply wait. Because do we care if the market buys or sells, or as traders, we make money either way?
Make money either way.
Either way, right? Either way, right? So why not show this rejection? Then if it gives you that impulse to sell right here that we was looking at, it's okay. We might be a little late, but after this impulse, what is the market going to do?
Correct.
And then now we have the safety entry, and then we could possibly take it down or ready to revisit the bottom. Now, if this move happens, how many pips are we looking at?
588.
588. Guys, I'm not here to show you guys 10, 20 pips. Right? So, but what if the market say, psych, I really want to go up? Give you an impulse. That's okay. Impulse tells us what the market wants to do. So we simply wait for what? A correction, and then from there we do what? We buy that thing up. Because as traders, do we care if we buy or sell the market? Or we just want to align ourselves with the market and be in the right direction? Make sense?
You don't care. You don't care.
All we need is money.
Right? So you sit down here, be patient, and allow the market to tell you what it wants to do. So right here, I'm going to leave you guys a note. Right? Where's my note thing? Oh, there you go. Right? And then the note, for people that always follow me, know the normally, wait for strong can react. Can everybody see this clear? Boom. Everybody can read that? Everybody's good? Right? So now we know it could go either way, right? But what I always tell people, always have your first bias. Me, based on this, I'm going to be very honest with you, I would go this route, right? And I would look at this. So right now, I'll be looking for sell entries to take this down. That's me personally. Right? But I'm going to keep you guys safe. For my veterans, obviously pay attention to that. But I'm going to keep you guys safe. Hey, we might be a little late, but it's still 500 plus pips waiting for us all the way down. Is everybody cool with that?
I'm good.
Right? So EG, I sold you guys, I think 300 plus. This, I sold you guys 500 plus. How many pips are we looking for so far?
About 900, yeah.
About 900 pips.
Yeah. And we're only two trades in.
How many of those pips do you need to change your family life? Remember, I always tell people, I will always show you the biggest move in the market. But it's up to you to determine how much of that move you need to feed you and your family. Make sense? All right. Take this picture here for you guys. Gigi, what's another chart? AJ.
We had gold and UJ.
UJ, I didn't do UJ yet. All right. And what was the last one? I can have it in my head already.
It was gold, but those spreads are so high right now.
Yeah. It was gold, AJ, UJ. I think somebody said RUSD. All right, guys, look, guys, very simple, right? 3 most important time frames: monthly, weekly, daily. Then the mindset you need to have, mindset of an investor. Why? Because you are looking for a return of an investment. Don't answer. That's what you're looking for, return on your investment. Right? So you take some disposable income, you put in your account, you risk 1 to 3%, and you're looking for ROI. 1 to 3%, if you're a great trader like Gigi, you could push it up to 5. Anything above that, you are over leveraging. Right? Our job as traders, bots in price, react. That's the skill set. Right? So now we're going to come here and start off on the highest time frame, the monthly. Why? Because the higher time frame we start off at, it gives us the overall picture of the market and puts us in an ideal situation to catch these big moves. And once we get to the highest time frame, our job is just to bots in, react. Bots in, react. Bots in, react. We can actually come lower right here. Every line that we draw tells us a story. Right? The story is simple here. If the market were to come down here, it's high probability, it goes up. What happened here? Came down here again, and then it shot up. You see the rejection we have. Up here, drop, drop, drop. You see the rejection that's happening right now. Right? So now what we do is we work our way down. And as we work our way down, we get as close to price as possible. Here, it's nothing but like end posters, back and forth, back and forth. We can't draw nothing. There's no structure here to draw something on. Right? So now we work our way down to the daily, try to find some structure. Once again, there's no structure. We could clearly draw something. So now we work our way to the 4 hour. As we work our way to the 4 hour, what do we see? We saw this uptrend, right? What happened to this uptrend, guys? It broke. It broke. So because it broke, do we really need to focus on this uptrend anymore? No. Right now, the market's telling us it no longer wants to go up. Right? So let's drop down one more time frame. What are we going to do here? Draw a trend line on this structure here. Boom. Now we could get rid of this. Right? Boom. Now we have this trend line here. Right? We could clearly see we got this what? End post here, right? So what are we waiting for? So in a smaller time frame, we are waiting for a pullback, a correction. Let's drop down to the 15-minute. That's what we're waiting for. Right? Just like how it happened here. Correction, end post, correction, continuation, end post, correction, continuation, end post, correction, continuation, end pose, correction, continuation, end pose, correction, continuation, end pose, correction, continuation. I'm not teaching you guys on theory. I'm teaching you guys on facts. Let's delete all this. So now in a smaller time frame, what are we going to wait for, guys? We're going to simply wait for a correction. If it holds this trend line, doesn't break it, we're going to make our way back down. And that's the trade idea right there. And then we can make our way down right to about this structure and just lift it a little bit. And then from here to that structure, we're looking at almost a 200 pip move. Possibly more, but I like to stop at key structures. Make sense? Did I leave anybody behind with this analysis? Or does everybody understand what I said?
I do understand.
Okay, yeah, I do understand. Great. Let me share this chart with you guys. Thanks. What was the last chart?
The last one suggested was gold.
No, we did go. Yeah, you're not paying attention. I fell asleep. Did I do gold? I didn't do gold.
No, you're not paying attention. No, we didn't.
No, that was Euro GBP.
Yeah, you did that first.
Oh.
I think somebody's age is
You
showing.
young people, boy, I tell you, y'all forget stuff.
Don't tell my mom. Don't tell my mom my questions you do. Okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell your mama you back talking me on here tonight.
My mama doesn't like me back talking young folks. All right? So guys, now we're gonna go over gold. The concept does not change at all. As you can see, I'm doing the same thing over and over again, right? It's the reason why. Makes sense? Because we identify a repeated behavior, and what we do, we basically milk it. That's how we get paid as traders, right? So we come here, right? What's the key structure areas? We got up here, but we could get closer. We get to about right here. And we could get to about right here. Boom. Our key areas, right? Box and price, react. We boxed in price. Now we make our way down to the smaller time frames, right? We could clearly see here on the weekly, gold overall has been on an uptrend. We could clearly see that, right? Now let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, what I'm personally going to do, I'm going to showcase this support here. Boom. Key area. That support.
You said what?
You trade, I can trade some more to you.
Grant, Gigi, somebody, right? That's the key area. We got our high point here, low point here. Let's go to 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we could clearly see we've been on an uptrend, but we could possibly go on a smaller time frame to get better key structure here. So what we're gonna do, very simple, draw this uptrend here. Boom. So now what we're basically ring-worn, this was an end pose, this was a correction that led to what? Continuation. When you guys come on my call on Sunday, I told you guys about this move right here. That led to all of this. Hopefully you guys caught it. Can't wait to ask you guys on Sunday. Right?
Well,
This is the end post right here. And look, we're simply waiting for the market to make one more move to this trend line and then what? Make its way back up. That's what we're waiting for. Three behaviors: end post, correction, continuation. End post, correction, money. End post, correction, money. Only time we will switch our bias if this trend line gets broken, followed by a correction to confirm it, and then we know we could go. Then we know we're going down. Does anybody have any questions on how I came up with this analysis? Any questions? Everybody's pretty much good?
Yes, sir.
So is correction like consolidation?
I wouldn't say that. That's not how I look at it, because consolidation is something that's just moving to the sideways. Right?
Yeah.
So me, I like to say correction is a pullback that forms a pattern. Because consolidation is like sideways movements, like this. This is consolidation, because the market doesn't know if it want to go up or down yet. Just keep bouncing sideways within a certain structure. Did I answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Did I give
Hello, Clint.
Yes.
Sorry to bother you. If I could squeeze one more pair out of you, could you look at EN?
Ian, perfect. What's your name?
Marcus.
Marcus, what's going on, brother? Are you on your phone or your laptop?
I'm on my phone, actually. I'm at work right now.
You stole one from me. I got you, man.
Yeah. Long time no talk, Clint.
No problem. I would have made you mark up. Ian.
Clint, before you start eating, I have a question. Can correction turn into consolidation?
Yes, and we call that like a flat correction.
Okay.
Monthly? No real top right now. Let's box this in right here. Let's go to weekly. Weekly, nothing's going on. Oops. Let's go daily. We could draw this trend line here, but it would be better structure on the 4 hour. And then here on the 4 hour, we got this. So now, guys, I see this impulse here. I see this correction here, right? So instead of me focus on that trend line, I'm gonna focus on this. One more move to the top. If it holds this level, sell down. That's what I see on EN.
Awesome. Thank you. That's the same thing I had.
So possibly one more move. If it breaks out earlier because of this trend line here, simply wait for a correction and keep selling. But if not, one more move here, selling at the top.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, young man. I appreciate you. Okay, great, guys. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. If you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Oh, cool. So when you say box in price and you how do you determine those levels at the top and the bottom of those price levels?
Okay, great. Let's do USD. What's your name that was speaking?
My name's Matt.
Matt, what's going on, Matt?
Good. How are you? I've actually done a few of your classes, man. I love this stuff. Appreciate
Oh, bless him, man. If you love it, I love it. Okay? So look, right? What we're looking for when we're boxing in like those key areas. You see the key word, hint, key what? Key area, right?
Area.
Major structure points, right? So as you can see, price, you see this big wick is shot up there?
Yeah.
If you notice, the only thing price did was go and meet the wick that was created already. Make sense? Now, every line you draw, that's why you got to be very precise and very great at mapping out these key areas, simply because, right, you're telling yourself a story. Make sense? So the story you told yourself, hey, if price were to ever make its way up here, we know it's a high probability it will drop. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So we come here, we got to take this point here. Hey, boom, key area, low. It touched here, up, touched here, up, went up here, down, went up here, down. Guys, I like to teach green eggs and ham because I like even for my 9-year-old daughter to understand this. Make sense? Now we're going to work our way down to the weekly, right? And then we could clearly see what type of trend that we saw here. It was an uptrend. So as we drop down time frames, we get closer and closer and closer to price. Make sense? Look left, key area, we highlighted it, dropped. Look what's happening now, even on lower time frame. So are we surprised that price is dropping down on a lower time frame? No. Because it happened in the past already. So now what you do next is drop down another time frame, daily, right? You could come here if you want, get closer to price, because we can clearly see we have a trend line bounce, which caused this uptrend right here, right? We could clearly see that. Then we go to 4 hour, right? And then on the 4 hour from this key area, because if we drew this trend line here, what happened? It broke through, right? So we don't need to focus on that uptrend right there. Oh, it's that beautiful baby. Right? Can I get some cereal? Right? What we do then is just focus on this downtrend. Now what happened? End post. What happened? Correction. What that led to? Continuation. What do we want now? Correction. And that was going to lead to another continuation, possibly to this trend. Matt, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. I really appreciate it, man. That was clear as day.
Beautiful. I appreciate you. So obviously we want a bigger correction here, but any small corrections on a smaller time frame, if it gives you opportunity, what you going to do? Keep on selling. Want to keep trading simple? As long as, if you draw a trend line, as long as we stay below that trend line, you're looking for long-term sells, short-term buys. Want to keep trading simple? If you draw a trend line going up, as long as you stay above the trend line, you're looking for short-term sells, long-term buys. Is that simple for you guys?
Yep.
Right? And then everybody can say thank you to Matt. He just got an extra chart out of me.
Yeah, appreciate it, Clint. Thank you again.
Appreciate you, young man. All right, perfect. Does anybody have any questions before I get into my mindset?
Yes, Clint, I have one question. When you were marking up EN, this is God gift speaking, you said no real talk. So I was just curious to why you said that.
Wait, what? I didn't hear. What did the young man say?
When you were marking up EN, you said no real talk. You just marked out the lows. You didn't mark out the highs. So I was curious as to why that is.
Ian. Let's go high time. Okay. I could have marked this off right here, but it was like I didn't want to force anything. If you want for your eyes, we got this key structure like right here, this little nipple, but I personally rather not. Make sense? So look, we still came up with our determination with, we went for the monthly, we saw this low, we marked it off. Daily, we could have did that trend line there as well, right? 4 hour, end post, this is a big correction that's happening. Wait for it to come to the top, drop down again. As the other ones was very clear where the top was and everything like that. Don't force a story if you don't have to. Can I answer your question?
So is it wrong to put a high or mark out the highs of a monthly candle that is still forming? Maybe, for example, it weeks out and forms a very long week, but it's still the monthly candle. Is it wrong to put a trend line on the week to mark it as your high or your low?
If there's not structure there, clear structure there, just don't mark it.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Am I answering your question? I want to make sure I'm answering your question.
Yes.
Okay, if there's no real structure there, don't force it. Don't force the market.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Now that I'm looking at Ian, how many pips is this? This could be a lot of pips, guys. So I'm gonna send you this chart here, and I'm gonna show you how to catch that move up if it happens. Okay? So in the lower time frame, right? Boom. On the lower time frame, if the market from here to here, how many pips that is? We could chase that. All right. We got this broke here. If it gives you a correction, holds this, you could take it to here. And if it breaks this correction, you could take it all the way to the top. So let me give you this picture, because I just realized that's a lot of pips to the top before it drops again. All right, perfect. Any more questions, guys, before we get into mindset?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nobody has any more trading questions? Everybody's good?
We're good. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. So let's get into mindset. Stop sharing my screen. Let's get into mindset. Guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you about something. Do I have y'all permission to be honest with you guys? Do I have permission? Yes. Can I be transparent with you guys? Gigi, do I have your permission to be honest with people?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Gigi gave me permission. That means she knows her crowd, so I could basically be honest with you guys, right? I'm gonna be very honest with you guys about something, right, guys? The thing I want to be honest with you guys about, it's very, very simple, right? The technicals behind trading can be as easy as you want it to be. That's the technicals, like how to properly draw a trend line, what's support, what's resistance. The technical behind it, it's a very, very, very easy thing. As easy as you want it to be, right? Even if I had to show it to you guys 10 times over, 20 times over, eventually you will get the technical aspect of trading, right? That's the easy part. One of the hardest things to overcome about trading, that's why I personally spend a lot of time on the mindset portion. Because no matter what blueprint I give you, Gigi give you, my personal mentor give you, whatever platform you want, no matter what blueprint they give you, you still got to fight that inner demon, right? You still got to overcome the mindset portion of it. I truly think trading is about 95% mindset, mental, psychological, right? With another 5 to 10% where it's technical. Learn how to draw a trend line, that's the easy part. It may seem very hard in the beginning, but eventually you'll start clocking, hey man, my trend line got 2 touches and it's not breaking no rules. Right? But the psychological part of trading, that's the hard part to overcome. Right? And sometimes you guys, what you do is you add more to it than is needed. You sometimes make it worse to yourselves. You put yourself in an abusive relationship that you cannot get out of. Right? Because of the way you go about trading. I know, trust me, guys, I understand. Because I used to work a job as well. And I used to work very, very hard to make the money I used to make working. Countless hours, going in on my days off, doing it all. Doing doubles, right? I know. So now that you come here, you get introduced to this concept where you simply press the button and watch the numbers run up. That shifts your mindset a little bit. Oh my God. This is the easiest money I've ever made in my life. And then what happens? You become greedy. Right? You become greedy. Right? You have a $100 account. You put in your first trade with a 0.01. Why? Because you listen to the people that told you that's what you're supposed to do. You put in your second trade at a 0.01. Both trades hit. Oh my God, this is easy. Now you go and put in a third trade, but because those first 2 trades hit, what do? Now I'm gonna put a standard on this one. And then poof, bye your account. That's when you get hit first. You know what? That was a little $100 account. It's okay that I got punched. That's perfectly fine. Right? Perfectly fine. We ain't worried about that. Make sense? But then what happens? You go load up your money with some more because you say that the thing you tell yourself is, I didn't lose because I was greedy. I lost my money because I didn't have enough money in my account. So you go load it up with $500. Then you say, you know what, this time around, I'm going to follow the proper lot sizes. Then guess what? You win a few trades, you get ahead of yourself, then the next trade that comes out, what you do again? Oh, let me put in the bigger lot size. Bye $500 account. This punch really hurt because you start thinking about all the stuff you could have paid off. You start thinking about, dang, man, my light bill was $500. Dang, I could have did this with the $500. Right? That one hurt a little bit, right? The market drew a little, the market drew a little blood this time around. Right? Because you're being greedy. Trust me, I understand. Because your whole life before you came here, you had to work extremely hard for your money. Extremely, extremely, extremely hard. So now you finally found the concept. You simply press the same amount of effort that it takes to call somebody is the same amount of effort it takes to put in a trade. So you know what? What you tell yourself, it's, you know what? It's not about, what should we call it? It's not about that. I didn't lose because I was greedy. I didn't lose because I wasn't following the rules that people before me laid before me. I didn't lose because I was trying to make $1 million in 2 days. I lost simply because I didn't have enough money in my trading account. So what you do then? Go reload again. Now this time, we're going to put $1,000 in. And we go through the same process again. That's what we go through. The same process again. Start off by doing what? Trading the way you're supposed to, small lot sizes. You win a few trades. This time you lasted a little longer because that 500 really hurt, right? But then immediately after, you get ahead of yourself and you do what? You pull up your big boy lot size. Why? Because you're not making enough money fast enough. Why? Because every time you win a trade, you're winning trades on a small lot size and your wins is not that big. While I'm in a community that this person making this money, this person making this money, that person's making this money. Right? That's what's happening. Right? So instead of waiting your turn until it's your time to shine, making some of the money that they're making, what you do? Immediately after. Raise your lot size, 60% of your account is gone. Then you blow your account. All the money you made, you gave it back in a day. Why? Because you got that greed, that little greed. Instead of being a trader, right? Hopefully I'm not saying that word wrong. People don't think I'm talking about trader. Instead of you being a trader, right? You instantly become a gambler. Because you never made money so easy in your life. Your whole life, you had to work hard for every single dollar. 40 hours, 60 hours, 50 hours, 70 hours. And then you blow your account, you start the process again. And then it gets to the point of, you know what, man? This stuff does not work. I don't know what these other people is doing, but obviously this is not for me. Every time I win small, but every time I lose, I'll basically lose it all. That's what you tell yourself. That's exactly what you tell yourself. And then you basically literally talk yourself out of an industry that could literally change your lives. This is what you talk yourself out of. You got $6.6 trillion in the palm of your hand. And once you get nice at the skill set, you can literally go into that pile and take out some money to take care of you and your family. If I told you guys, if I were to give you $2,000 a day and never miss a day, would that change your life? A lot of you guys would say yes. A lot of you guys would say yes. Hell yeah, that would change my life. So now let's compare $2,000 a day to what? 6.6 trillion a day. That's a teardrop into the Atlantic Ocean. And that's your $100 a day. That's $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month. Extra $50 a day. That's $250 a week. Extra $1,000 a month. Guys, you literally have 6.6 trillion in the palm of your hand. Yes, it's not in your physical bank account, but you got access to it. But instead of you guys working and grinding with the end in mind, you're working and grinding for immediate results. You're not going through the proper phases that you need to go through to make sure you're successful. Phase number 1, get the knowledge. Very important. Get the knowledge. Get the knowledge. We need that. Phase number 2, work on the mindset. Phase number 3, work on the skill set itself. Practice daily, back test, put in some work, put in time. Phase number 4, that's when the money comes in. Wow, Clint said money as number 4. Phase number 5, then comes the freedom. Think about it. If you was going out there to apply for a job, what do they ask you? Hey man, what do you know about this position? Then you answer them question as much as you can. What do you know about this position? Question number 2, they ask at job interviewers, how well do you work under pressure? Guess what? That's the mindset person. This job can be very demanding. How well do you work under pressure? And you guys sit there, tell them what you tell them. I'm one of the best there is under pressure. You hype yourself up. That's the mindset. Then they ask you, how well can you perform at this position? Guess what? That's the skill set, guys. How well do you perform at this position? That's the skill set. And depending on how knowledgeable you are, how well you work under pressure, how well can you perform at the position itself, would determine how much money, how much money they'll pay you. And sometimes, even if you answer those questions well, it doesn't matter. They make you come in at entry level anyways. Because now they need to see it for themselves, because they know a lot of people sit there and hype themselves up. Think about that, guys. So why is it in the work world that is okay to have to be knowledgeable, to have a strong mindset, right? To have to actually be skillful, to actually start making some money. But when you guys come to the Forex world, all that stuff gets thrown out the window. When you make your first dollar, it's like, forget all that stuff they taught me. I could get rich in 2 days. With a $50 account, I'm looking to make 10 million by Thursday. And then when you make enough money, whenever that time may be, whatever that freedom number is for you, when you make enough money, then comes phase number 5, the actual freedom. The day you can say, listen, Mr. blah, 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 Mrs. blah, 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 blah. Thank you for the opportunity you gave me here. Thank you for a chance to let me earn some income. But because of you letting me work here, I was able to fund my trading account a year ago, 2 years ago. And I was able, through a skill set, make enough money that I could live off of now. And you can no longer afford me. And walk away. Go home, be with your family, full time. That's what I had to do. That's what any successful person in this niche had to do. They had to go through those phases. Any successful person in this niche. Because I went through those phases, I was able to retire myself. Thank you. Because I went through those phases, I was able to retire my moms. Thank you. My wife is just hard-headed. She doesn't want to be retired. She'd rather work. But guess what, guys? Look what's currently happening in this world. Right? We got a notification from the school that, hey, man, we're shutting your daughter's school down. Right? My wife, her job was still open. I told her, man, I need you to call your boss right now and tell him you ain't going to work right now. It's over. You'll be back whenever you come back. It's real spooky outside. That's what I told her to do. Obviously, my wife being the great wife that she is, she said, okay, baby, no problem. She called her boss, right? She told him, listen, man, they shut my daughter's school down. I need to be home with my daughter and my kids. I'm not going to work. You know what he had the nerve to tell my wife? He told her, you can just bring your daughter to work. There's a reason why I'm sharing this with you guys. You can just bring your daughter to work. My daughter is 9 years old. With the stuff that's going on right now, the main people that affects is the elderly people and the young people. And he told my wife, bring your daughter to work. I told my wife, man, you go to work if you want. You'll be husbandless. Stay your ass home. But thank God I put myself in position to be able to make a move like that. Thank God I have enough funds to have an option to do that. Reason why I'm sharing that story, because there's a lot of people that doesn't have that same option. There's a lot of people, right, that probably would have had to bring their daughter to work. Think about that. There's a lot of people that doesn't have the same options that I have. There's been one main slogan I've been repeating over and over and over again this whole year. Make a decision today that your future you will thank you for. I made a decision in 2014 and I made a decision in 2017. The 2020 Clint is saying thank you to the 2014 Clint. The 2020 Clint is saying thank you to the 2017 Clint, because that Clint made a decision that's affecting my life right now. When are you guys finally going to make that decision that your future you can look back and say, thank God you made a decision like that? How many of you guys going to finally make the decision to realize the type of skill set that's here? To realize the money you have access to. This is the world's biggest, largest financial market ever. Is it going to take some time to learn? Yes. Would it be worth it? Hell yeah. If you was getting a formal education, we're talking of 2 to 4 years minimum before you even earn a dollar in the field that you're studying. So why you're rushing the process here? Why? Trust the process, respect the journey, eyes on your pocket at all times, and I promise you, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to work this until it works for you, one day you will have the freedom that you're currently chasing now. But first you have to make the decision of, hey man, I'm not gonna play with this no more. I'm gonna put in more time. You're already putting in 40 hours for the next person. When are you gonna put in some hours for you and your family? A lot of you guys putting in hours now, right? Great. You know what's beautiful? I gave you guys some money setups, right? For my veterans that's here, they'll let you know, hey, a lot of Clint charts hit, high percentage of it, right? But I bet you if I contact Gigi next Friday and tell her, hey man, people that was on this call, how many of them caught those moves? The number might be low. So it's one thing to show up, right? But it's time to put yourself in the game as well. It's free money, plus free education right here. Thank God for this platform right here that Gigi created. Make a decision today that your future you would thank you for. Make a decision today that your future you would thank you for. Make a decision today that your future you would thank you for. Make a decision today that your future you would thank you for. When is it going to be in the future? I don't know. Is it going to be well worth it? Yes. So make a decision today that your future you would thank you for. I'm thinking 2020 is thinking 2014 Clint. In 2020, I'm thinking 2017 Clint. Guess what? In 2025, I'm going to be thinking 2020 Clint because he made a decision this year already. Make a decision today that your future you would thank you for. Guys, I love you all. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you guys. I never take that for granted. Never, never, never take that for granted, guys. So thank you so much for staying on. What time is it? It's about 12 o'clock. Usually we go a little later than this. I'm surprised I was able to keep this in within 2 hours. I think I gave you 4 and some hours last time, right? Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. All right, guys. Gigi, you could come up here, close. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you, Queen. Love you very much. I'll be speaking to you to the other side.
Thank you so much for pouring your knowledge and your heart into us. Everybody, we dropped the Telegram link for Clint so you can get some free training from him as well throughout the week. He has a couple of sessions. And since, Grant knew you first and you were his first mentor, I'm going to let Grant close us out. Thank you, Grant.
Thank you, Gigi. Clint, thank you again. You dropped some amazing nuggets. I hope everyone took some notes tonight. I certainly did. You know, I never stop learning. I'm always a student. And I want to thank you for doing so much for everyone, not just me, but, you know, behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know that Clint has mentored a lot of people at no charge, you know, teenagers coming up that he wanted to take care of so they didn't have to go through some of the things that he went through. So Clint, once again, thank you so much for all you do. And I hope you and your family have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, blessings to you guys. Thank you for staying on this long. I know sometimes I get to talking. Hopefully I inspired and added value to your life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Whenever I come on these calls, guys. Okay.
Good teaching, Clint.
Not even
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Jackie, you get the goat. They over talking. All right, guys. Thank you. I ain't gonna drag this out any longer. Appreciate you guys. Man. So love you guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Michaela, say bye.
Bye.
That's how you say bye.
GG. Thank you for that link to GG.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thank
Gigi.
you,
Awesome.
Pastor.
GG.
Thank you,
Bye,
Clint.
Michaela.
Thank you, Clint.